Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. Is everyone here? Not really. Yes, Jenny Yunqing and Ho Wei, hello. And yes, hello, Ryan. I heard you're a new trial student, so welcome. We are currently in revision for year 7. Okay, because we have done our chapter 4 or 5 last month already. Okay, so we are currently doing revision for year 7. So time to time, I'll do some revision with you all before your first exam. Okay, so there are like 2 to 3 more people not here, but anyway, let's not wait anymore. Let's begin. If you have the notes, okay, I'm not sure what Ryan, you have the physical notes or not. Okay, if they give it to you, then that's a good thing. Okay, even if they give you, make sure you check is it the correct note, because sometimes they will just give you the wrong notes. I don't know why. Okay, anyway, let's go to our page 4. All right, let's go to page 4. So last week we have done our revision for chapter 1 and 2. Okay, chapter 1 and 2. Today we shall revise for chapter 3. Okay, your year 7 chapter 3. Okay, so I'm sure you have learned this already. So I'm just gonna quickly, bring this through so that next week or maybe next week we can continue with our syllabus. All right, anyway, let's look at unit 3, living things in their environment. This chapter is not really important, okay, I would say, because this ecology part, you have already learned. Okay, you have already learned, because basically you learn this thing in 2 parts. I think another part you have learned it in your year 8. So it's more or less the same thing. And this adaptation thing, it's more like a out of syllabus stuff, because you can't be studying all animals. Okay, I can't just ask you, okay, let's say species A, what's the adaptation? What characteristics do they have? How do they fit to this environment? You don't know. I don't know, because nobody knows unless you specifically study that animal. So there are millions of animals out there. We can't be learning them all. All right, so let's look at number 1, ecology. So ecology is the study of living things in the environment. Basically, when you study other species, it's called ecology. Okay, and then there are a few words that you need to know. What's a habitat? What is species? What is population? What is community? And what is ecosystem? I'm sure by now you have already learned this lah. So what is a habitat? Habitat is a living space. Okay, where do you live? So a habitat is the home of a plant or an animal. That means if you live at a certain place, that's your habitat. All right. So for example, our Malayan tiger. Okay, our Malayan tiger, their habitat is the rainforest, our Malaysia rainforest. They can only live here. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Habitat cannot simply change. Okay, I think I told you this many times already, but let me say this again. You cannot simply change your habitat. I mean, humans, we can, okay? If you live Sian in Jeras already, then you go live in Puchong lor. If Puchong you live Sian already, then you go Shah Alam lor. But they cannot do that. If an animal has to stay at a certain habitat, they have to stay there for many, many generations. Okay, they cannot just simply move. All right, so that's the habitat of an animal. So example, the tropical forest, the ocean, the piece of bread lying on the table, even your piece of bread lying on the table, that's a habitat. Habitat for who? Your habitat for fungi lah. Okay, you know your fungus, right? Okay, you have your fungus. When you put your bread 2 weeks on the table, it turns moldy, right? That's the fungi lah. Okay, that's the habitat. All right, so what about species, population, community, and ecosystem? This one should be very easy for you because you've already learned this. A species is a type of organism, like a dog is a species. Human is a species. Okay, a cat is a species. So they are only a species when they can breed among each other and produce offspring. That means, let's say dogs are okay. You see, dogs have many breeds, right? I told you this before. Can a golden retriever, have sexual intercourse with a German Shepherd and have babies? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. So that means they are the same species. If they can reproduce, that means they are the same species. So if they can reproduce, okay, they can have sexual intercourse, that means they are the same species lah. So when you put the same group of species together, it's called a population. Okay, it's called a population. For example, tiger population in the tropical rainforest. Okay, so it's a group of the same thing. So this is why we use the word human population, because we count all the numbers of a human. So human population, 人口. Okay, human population. And then when you put a few populations together, you will get a community. So different populations come together to form a community. So for example, all living things in the tropical rainforest. So that means in our Malaysia forest, all the living things putting together is called a community. All right. And then when you add on all the other abiotic factors, the non-living stuff, because community is all living thing. So a combination of community and non-living things, they are called abiotic factor. Okay. So non-living thing is called abiotic factor. For example, weather, rock, soil, they are non-living. When you add living and non-living thing together, you will get an ecosystem. Okay, ecosystem. So this is just like your cell. A group of cells is called tissue. A group of tissue is called organ. A group of organ is called system. That is pretty much the same thing. So you have your species. Okay, a group of species is called population. A group of population, a few groups of population is called community. And then when you put community and abiotic factor together, you get an ecosystem. Can you see? Can you see they are more or less the same? It's like the same comparison. Even system is the same thing. So this is your ecology. So these are the basic words, guys. I think you learned this before already. Okay, so by now you should be able to explain what are these 4 words. Okay, these are very basic ecology. All right, so next, food chain. So what is a food chain? This one very easy lah. You have learned this since primary school. Don't tell me you don't know what food chain is. All right, so a food chain shows us the feeding relationship in an ecosystem. Okay, that means in an ecosystem, who eats who? Okay, who is eaten by who? That's your food chain. And then plants are called producer. Okay, because they provide food by obtaining energy from the sunlight. So every food chain starts with a producer, and then producer are eaten by primary consumer. They are herbivores. And then secondary consumer will eat primary consumer. They are usually carnivore or sometimes omnivore. And then the third layer is called tertiary consumer. They eat secondary consumer. So as you can see, they get stronger and stronger and stronger. So you have your producer, okay, eaten by your primary consumer. Primary consumer is the weakest. Usually it's like rabbit, caterpillar, and so on. And then you have your secondary consumer. They are slightly stronger, like your chicken, birds, and so on. And then tertiary consumer, they are usually very strong. Okay, they are usually very strong, like eagles, snakes, lions, tigers. They are almost like the top of the food chain. There's a word for it if you remember. It's called apex predator. Okay, apex predator means they're at the top of the food chain. No one can eat them. So we are usually here lah. Humans are usually tertiary consumer. Okay, so this one you know lah. This is just a very basic food chain. So when you put a few food chains together, you get a food web. This one you learn this in primary school also. All right, so let's look at what is biodiversity. Okay, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity, okay, ecosystem usually has many different species showing a variety of characteristics and feature. So because of the many types of living thing in an ecosystem, so this characteristic is called biodiversity. Okay, biodiversity. Okay, put it this way. Malaysia has many races, right? We have Malays, we have Chinese, we have Indians. So we are a very diverse country. Okay, our country has diversity. Cultural diversity means culturally wise, we have many types. Okay, we have Malays, they celebrate Hari Raya, we celebrate Chinese New Year, and Indians, they celebrate Deepavali. So we have cultural diversity. But for animals, because of the many types of animal, they call it biodiversity. Bio means living things. Okay, so this makes an ecosystem diverse. Okay, it makes them very many types. Hence, we use the word biodiversity. Okay, so in this world, this earth, we have biodiversity because we have many things around. We have many living things around. They are all different. All right, so simple. All right, so let's look at this adaptation. I'm not going to go too much into this because, like I said, we can't be studying them all. All right, so for example, if you study a certain bird, you want to study the adaptation, it could take you years to study. All right, so we are just going to roughly touch and go. Okay, this is more like a learn for fun part. You don't need to memorize anything. Okay, so number one, each living organism has adaptations that help it to live in a particular habitat. All right, so adaptations are special feature to help it live or survive there. All right, so every living thing, they have adaptations. Okay, what are adaptations? Means you have a certain special feature that you have that helps you survive. Okay, do you know we humans, we have it too? Okay, for example, humans, we are very hairless. Have you noticed this? Among the ape family, the monkey family, okay, we have orangutan, we have chimpanzee, we have bonobos, we have so many types like silverback gorilla. Who is the most hairless one? Human. You see, among all the monkeys, we are the least hairy one. We have no hair on our face and everything. Do you know why? This is our special feature. Why is having no hair a special feature? Because humans, we are very good hunters. Okay, we are very good hunters. We know how to hunt other living things to eat. That's why we evolved. That's why we become who we are today. So as you need to hunt, you need to run. You need to run a lot. You need to exercise a lot. So you create a lot of body heat. You are very hot. So how do they get rid of this body heat? Our ancestors, they slowly lose their hair. Okay, they slowly lost their hair. So until today, why are we so hairless? Because we just drop them so that we can become better hunters. All right, so we have so many else feature. For example, we just kind of don't grow our wisdom teeth anymore, right? You know what's a wisdom teeth, right? You will grow them in around your 20s. Okay, we used to use wisdom teeth to chew vegetable, but we don't do it anymore because we don't really eat vegetable anymore. I mean, we eat meat more than last time, so we just kind of lose the wisdom teeth already. Okay, so as you can see, these are special features. All right, so we only have adaptations that help us become a better species. All right, for example, I'm sure I told you this last year already. Every monkey has this. Okay, if you put your finger, your thumb, and your pinky together, can you see this bone here? This bone actually helps you to climb a tree. Okay, as in climb a tree, 爬树. We don't have this anymore. Our muscle here, this muscle, it's no use anymore because we lost the function. We don't climb trees anymore. But monkeys, they still have them because they still climb trees. So we slowly lost that function over millions and millions of years. So as you can see, every living thing has certain adaptation. All right. So like I said, you can't study them. You can't study them all. If you ask me, sir, what about this species and that species? What's their special adaptation? I don't know. Okay, I don't study all animals. Okay, why not you go and Google, you tell me. Okay, I learned something new because if I really don't know something, guys, I would really tell you I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna pretend like that you also don't know. No, I'm gonna say that because if I really don't know, I really don't know. All right, so let's look at adaptation to daily changes. Okay, so for example, every day you have the sun coming out during daytime, and then you have the sun setting. So tulips, they open their flower during the day to attract insect for pollination and close them at night to protect the structure from the flower. You know it's tulip, right? You know it's tulip, right? It's called 郁金花. You can find this thing in Netherlands. You know Netherlands, 荷兰, the country beside Belgium, they are very famous for their tulip. So they will only open during the day and close during the night. This is why we like them. Many people like tulips because they can open and close according to the sunlight. So why close at night? So that they can protect their reproductive organs so that no one else come and cause damage to it. You see, they can follow the sun. The sun goes down, they know insects are not out for pollination. Then they stop it lah. Okay, they stop producing it lah. Okay, they stop opening lah. So next, the tawny owl has several adaptations that allow it to catch mice at night. So most owls, they have these characteristics. Number one, they have large eyes, sensitive to low light. They allow them to see well, at night, and then specially shaped wing feathers to move quietly. Okay, do you know owls they have their feather are, their wings are grow in such a way that when they flap their wings are almost completely silent so that they don't scare off their prey. You see, this is a smart design. And then they have sharp talons to kill its prey quickly. Our talons are here, okay, the zua. So once they catch the mouse, okay, they will stab it and then they will die. You see, special feature. Special feature. So all of us have special features to help us survive better in the wild. All right. So like us, do you know what's another special feature that humans have? We have very high IQ. Among all the animals, among all the living things on Earth, who is the smartest and the most intelligent? Us, human. Okay, why? Because few million years ago, we learned how to make tools. We started to learn how to make tools. We learn how to better improve the tools. So this process kind of makes our brain better every day, every day, every day. So as you evolve and evolve and you get smarter and smarter and smarter, over many, many generations, we just become who we are today, very smart. So we see we adapted to the environment by having a better brain to make better tools. All right. So this is why, guys. Oh, sorry. So this is why, guys, girls are attracted to intelligence. Do you know that? Do you know that? You see, girls, yes, if you're very lang zai, girls, they will like you. Yes, sure. But girls are more attracted to intelligence. If you are smart, girls are attracted to you. Why? Because if you are smart, you make a better hunter. You are a better hunter. You can hunt better. You can kill animals better. You can feed people better. So this is why girls are attracted to intelligence. There's a reason why. Okay, because intelligence is our special adaptation. Okay, I'm sure you like smart people too. Would you talk to stupid people? No, you wouldn't. Okay, if let's say you play a certain game, okay, let's say you play Dota or you play PUBG or you play Fortnite. If you're very good at it, that means you're very intelligent at that game. You would only talk to gamers who are intelligent. Do you want to talk to some noob player that keeps feeding the enemy? No, you get very annoyed at them. Okay, because every one of us, we love intelligence. This is our adaptation. Okay, you get what I'm trying to say, All right, so bats, they navigate and find prey using echolocation. That means they will emit an ultrasound, and then when the ultrasound reflects back to their ear, they know how far the wall is, so that they don't run into a wall, or they can know where their prey is. Okay, so they produce ultrasound, which bounce off the object and return to the bat. Okay, bat's ear helping them to determine the position of the prey, so they know where they are. Okay, so slugs and wood lice become more active at night when the surrounding cools down and humidity is high. You know what's a wood lice? These are, can I don't Google search this? Slug is very, very disgusting. Okay, if you want to know, I'll let you know. Okay, you know what's a slug? Okay, slug is basically this thing. Okay, so you see, they are very weak. They have no defense against people who are trying to kill them. So they only come out at night. You see? So guys, all animals they have their own special adaptation to help them, survive in this wild. All right. Even your dog has it. Okay, you see, dogs what special features do they have? They have very good hearing. Okay. In fact, a dog's hearing is twice of our range. Okay, if you have a dog, your dog's hearing is twice as good as you. This is why they can hear things coming from very far. I'm sure when your Shopee delivery guy, when they reach your house, even before you notice that your dog already start barking, because they know someone is coming. All right. Anyway, so adaptation to seasonal change. Okay, how do we adapt to winters and springs and so on? So deciduous trees are trees that shed their leaves during winter or very dry season to prevent water loss. So most trees in Western countries they are deciduous tree. That means they know winter they are going to be dry. If they have leaves, leaves they will lose water. I'm sure you know leaves at the bottom there's the stoma, right? So they will lose water from that. So to stop them from dying, they actually just cut off the leaf. They just shut off the leaf. Might as well they don't want. Okay, like your maple tree, your maple tree is like that. You know what's maple tree? The feng ye, feng shu. You know Canada's logo, that's the maple leaf. So the maple tree, they will just shut off their leaf during winter. That's one of the example I can think of. So green plants die during winter, but their roots survive, which will regrow when spring comes. You see, so when winter comes, many plants will actually, reduce what they need. Okay, because winter they are sleeping anyway, they are not doing anything. And then evergreen trees like conifer, they have needle-shaped leaves to reduce evaporation of water. Therefore, it is not needed for them to shed their leaves during winter. What is conifer? Conifers are like pine trees lah. Okay, pine trees. IKEA, right? Their furnitures are mostly made from this tree. Okay, Christmas tree, right? That's your conifer lah. So they have needle-shaped leaves so that they don't carry snow, so that they don't add extra weight to them. You just let the snow slide off them. And the leaves, they're very sharp, so they don't lose water. Now, you see, it's a smart design. And then, all animals living in winter environment have a thick layer of fur. You know this lah. Everyone living in winter country has fur. Fur or fats, sometimes both. Fur to stop themselves from getting cold, and the fat is to act as heat insulator to keep themselves warm. You see, smart design again. Sometimes they will take layer of fats under the skin to insulate themselves from the cold. Some animals hibernate in winter because food is scarce. They know they are not going to find any food, might as well they just sleep. Examples, polar bear, bees, snakes. Some animals migrate, for example, birds. So birds, they can fly, so they will fly to warmer countries, warmer climates, so that they don't die from winter. So as you can see, winter is like a very not happening season. Most trees and animals, they will just go to sleep. So what is estivation? Estivation is like hibernation, but happens during summer. The lungfish does estivation during summer when the river dries up until the rainy season returns. So this is like a hibernation for summer. So you know what's a lungfish? Okay, a lungfish looks like long. Okay, so they can actually survive without water. So when the water dries up, they just sleep during the winter. So when rainy season returns, when the water returns, they become active back. So this is a very, I'm sure you have not heard of this. This is a very special feature. All right, next, adaptation to certain habitat. So let's look at habitat. How do some animals adapt to their environment, their surrounding? So for example, desert, flowering plants here have very short life cycle. When it rains, they grow and disperse seed in a very short time. So they will just disperse their seed and then they will die. Okay, so they can do the same thing. They will grow, disperse seed and die in a few days or maybe 1 week. They will do everything. And then cacti, cactus they store water in their stem, protect with a thick layer of wax. They also have long roots to absorb as much water as they can. So as you know cactus, they are the most typical plant to find in the desert. Okay, and then of course adaptation of camels. All right, so this camel is very special. This is one of the example found in your checkpoint. Okay, they do focus. They wrote a lot about camels, so maybe it will come out in exam. I don't know, but very interesting stuff. So, by the way, camels they don't store water in their humps. Please do not get mistaken. They store fats in there. Okay, why? Because when they need food, they will take out the fats and digest it, and then the digestion of fat is going to give you water. Okay, it's going to give you water. When they carry fat is kill two birds with one stone thing. Okay, they get energy, they also get water. Why just carry water alone? You see, very smart. So which can be broken down into energy and can convert it into water. And of course, its feet has thick pads. Okay, it has very thick pads on their feet. This is to insulate their feet from hot desert sand. That's why you see when the camels, they walk on desert, they don't really feel hot because there's a thick sort of like pillow to protect them. And then they have web feet to stop it from sinking into the sand. Web feet means they have wide surface area. When you have a wide surface area, you don't sink into the sand. It's just like your lorry When your lorry has, tractors, right? Your tractors have very broad tires so that they don't sink into the ground. All right, long blades to hold the body above the hot air close to the ground, able to shut its nostril to keep sand out of the respiratory system. So when there's a sandstorm, okay, as you know, in desert, especially in like Middle East, sandstorm is like a daily thing. So to stop the sand from going into their nose, they will close their nose. Okay, they'll close their nose. All right, so long eyelashes to keep sand from the eyes in sandstorm. They also have the third eyelid to get it out. So they have long eyelash and 3 eyelids to actually keep their eyes clean. Okay, so it's a special feature as well. So they have strong teeth to grind desert plant. As you know, Desert plants, they're very dry and they're very hard to chew. So camels, they adapt to it by having strong teeth to chew on them. So as you can see, these are special features to help it survive better in desert, because desert is such a hot country. Sorry, it's such a hot area. So they need all these characteristics to help them survive. Right? So like I told you, every organism, every living thing, they have their own special feature. Okay, they have their own. Okay, it's like this. Let me put it this way. If you are Toyota, how do you attract some people to buy your car? You must have your safety, you must have your special feature. Okay, for example, if you buy Lamborghini, okay, Lamborghini, what makes people want to buy Lamborghini? What's their special feature? The special feature of Lamborghini is they are very fast. They make very fast cars. Okay, and what's the, let's say Ferrari, what's the special feature of Ferrari? What makes people love their car? Because the logo is very iconic. Okay, Ferrari is like from 100 years ago. Everybody knows Ferrari. Okay, and then what else? Let's say Volkswagen. Okay, what makes you want to buy Volkswagen? Because it's a very comfortable car. That's their special feature. So every brand has their safety, has their special feature to attract customer. Same thing. Every living thing, every animal or plants or whatever, they have their special feature to help them survive. All right, to help them have an upper hand against another animal. So anyway, so next, mountains. So how some animals, they live in mountain. So mountainous regions are usually cold. They have only short warm periods, like short summer. So similar to desert, some plants also have very short life cycle, okay, very dry. Some plants have hairy leaves to prevent the plants from losing water. Okay, and trap air to provide insulation. So the hairy leaf is to stop evaporation. And then mountain plants also grow close to the ground to prevent from being damaged by strong wind. As you know, above mountains, they have very strong wind, so they cannot grow tall, because when the wind blows, they will snap into half. So they don't do that. So birds only visit mountaintop during summer. Large animals like mountain goat feed on the plants and move down to the mountain before winter. Something about this mountain goat, do you know they can just hang on the wall of mountains? Okay, mountain goat. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit tired now, because this is like my 7th hour of teaching. I've been teaching since the 9 p.m. today, 9 a.m. today. So my brain is a little bit hanging now. Okay, my brain is lagging already. I really need to sleep. Okay, so as you can see, mountain goat, they can just hang on the walls of mountains. Okay, they have this kind of strength to do this. They can just hang there. Okay, they can just hang there. This is mountain goat. This is their special feature. Okay, they can just climb the mountain like that. They have been doing this for many years. So this is like a very normal thing to them. See, special feature. So every living thing has that special feature to help them survive. Right? So next, fresh water. So fresh water is 淡水啦, water that is without salt, like your lakes, your rivers and all. So plants have airspace between cells to hold air for respiration or photosynthesis, help them float or open in water. So plants in fresh water, they have air inside so that they can open like a float. When they open, they have more surface exposed to the sun. That's how they do respiration. Okay, and then next, diving beetles live underwater but come to the surface and breathe using spiracle on its back. Spiracle is how insects, they breathe. So instead of growing at the side here, like cockroaches and grasshoppers, they grow it on the back. All right, next, salt water. Algae and seaweed lives near sunlit water to carry out photosynthesis. So as you know, algae and seaweed, they can do photosynthesis, so they need sunlight. So, and they live in water, they live in sea. So what do? They will live very nearby to the surface to get sunlight. So they have also have airspace between the cell to open their leaves in water. So animals that live in the dark part of the ocean, they are bioluminescent. That means they can glow in the dark. Okay, they can glow in the dark. So like your jellyfish, so they produce light using chemical reaction. All right, something about bioluminescent and fluorescence, they are different. Okay, different. If I say you are fluorescent, okay, you have fluorescence, that means you can absorb light and put it out later. That is what we call glow in the dark. I'm sure your watch, okay, you expose your watch to, okay, sorry for my background. Okay, if you have a watch, if you put it under the sun and then you go to the dark, you can see it glows in the dark, right? That's the fluorescence. But bioluminescence is not like this. Bioluminescence, they don't need any light. They can just glow it by themselves. Okay, different from fluorescent. Fluorescent, you need to give them sunlight. You need to give them light first. They absorb the light, they store it. Later, when there's no light, they will put it out. So they cannot light up themselves. They need to take other people's light and then put it out later. But bioluminescence means they can do it themselves. You don't need to give them light first. They can just glow themselves. So that's bioluminescent. All right, so adaptation to feeding. So how do some animals eat? So herbivores, you know lah. Herbivore is 草食. Okay, 草食动物. So herbivores, the mammals, they have strong teeth to grind vegetation. As you know, our molar teeth at the behind there. Okay, you have sharp teeth in front, right? You have blunt teeth at the behind. So that's for chewing vegetation. So caterpillars have strong jaw. Slugs and snails have tongue covered in their teeth. And then herbivores, they have adaptations that protect them from predators. Okay, so as you know, herbivores, they are very weak. Okay, they can be easily hunted. So how do they protect themselves? They have camouflage, okay, sensitive hearing and eyesight, okay, to detect approaching predators. Okay, that means goats they can hear you very well. Okay, horses too, they can hear you very well. All right, so next, carnivores. So carnivores are animals that eat meat lah. So they're usually predators. They have large canine teeth. Canine is these teeth. Okay, I'm sure if you have a dog, the sharp teeth is the canine. Okay, they use it to stab their prey, to kill their prey. So carnivorous birds have talons to stab prey. Okay, talon is this. Okay, and then hook beaks to rip prey into smaller pieces. What is hook beak? That means the beak is like this hook, so that they can tear the meat apart like a hook. All right. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention the last point here. Herbivores have their eyes at the side of the head. We call this monocular vision. Okay, I'm sure you know what is this. Monocular means the eyes that are at the side of the head. They can view very wide field of vision, but they are not accurate. They can see wide but not accurate. They don't need to see accurate. They just need to see wide because they can detect predator easily so that they can run away. And then carnivores, all predators have eye facing forward. We call this stereoscopic vision. That means if you look at humans or dogs we have vision at the front of the eye. So as you can see, there's a lot of overlapping. So this is very accurate. You can see things accurately, but not widely. But carnivore, they don't need to see so wide. What for? A carnivore's point is to see something sharp, accurate, so that they can pounce on it and kill it. So different function. This is for running away. This is for hunting. So that's why they are different. All right, so this type of vision has narrow field of vision, but can determine the position very accurately. So you can see something very accurately, very nicely. You know where they are. That's your stereoscopic vision. Okay, stereo, because stereo means both sides. Mono means one side. So that's your mono. All right, so next, pollution. You know what? I will talk about pollution later if we have the time. Okay, let's go to our exercise first, shall we? Okay, let's go to question 10. This is page 10. Okay, sorry guys, I'm really thirsty and tired because I haven't really had my dinner and I've been teaching for 6-7 hours with this voice, okay, walking around, talking around. So I'm really my inner battery is like almost drained to finish already. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, if I sound really tired, I apologize. So next, number 10, this is your ecosystem. So as you can see, this stork is trying to eat the fish. This big fish trying to eat the small fish. And then there's a duck here. The duck is eating a grasshopper, I think. And there's a frog here, there's a snake here, and then there's a snail here. So state what will happen to the stork population. Stork is this bird. If there is a water pollution due to poison in the area. So if I poison this lake, what is it going to happen? Here, what is it going to happen? So the population will decrease. Okay, decrease. Why? Because all the fish will die because of the poison. So when they die, you lack food. Okay, the stock will lack food. The bird has nothing to eat, so the bird will die lah. Okay, so small fishes die. Okay, small fishes die. Okay, due to the poison. So your stock lacks food. Okay, so they have nothing to eat. Here's the, like I said, I told you this many times already. An animal cannot just simply change their diet. Okay, they are not like you. If you go eat sushi today, sushi shop no open, then you eat noodle lor. If noodle shop no open, you eat chicken rice lor. They are not like that. They will only eat a certain type of food. Okay, that they have been eating for years and years. It's just like, okay, you see panda lah, they can only eat bamboo, and the bamboo must be from the bamboo of China. You can only import the bamboo. You cannot just simply give them any Malaysian bamboo, they are not going to eat. Yeah, they're very particular about that. So B, build two food chain based on the ecosystem. So we can start off with grass. What am I writing? Why am I writing gas? Okay, sorry guys, I'm really tired. Okay, so grass. And then grass is eaten by snail. You can say snail is eaten by... Who eats snail? Okay, stock law, I guess. Okay, stock, they will eat fish. Okay, they will eat the snail too. Okay, they are basically carnivores lah. So what else can you say? Okay, you can say grass. Who else eats grass? Who else eats grass? Oh, sorry. Why don't we talk about this? Okay, you have your seaweed or algae lah. Okay, algae is eaten by the small fish. The small fish is eaten by the stock. Okay, I'm just going to call it small fish and big fish lah, because I don't know what fish is this. There are many types of fish. They didn't mention anything here. Okay, so I'm just going to call it small fish. All right, so next, the diagram below represents the different organization in the pond ecosystem. So you have your A, B, C, D. Okay, they are pointing to one shape. And then you have your E, F, G, H. They are the circle. And then I is the big circle. All right, so C, which letter represents the species belonging to the pond system? So who represents species? What is a species again? Species is one animal. One, you are a species. So who's the species? That will be your A, B, C, and D. So these four, they are species. Okay, A, B, C, D. And then D, which letter represents population? Population is when you put a species together. When I put you and your friend and your another friend and your family, I put you all together, you are a population. So you see, so this is a population, right? Because species is one, when you put four together, this is a population. So E, F, G, H. Okay, E, F, G, H. And then E, which letter represents pond community? So which represents the whole thing? That's when you put all your populations together. So that would be your I. That whole thing is the ecosystem. Sorry, community. So only when you add in the non-living stuff, the abiotic stuff like the water, the soil, the air, the whatever, the stone, whatever you want to call it. So a pond ecosystem is a combination of pond community and J. So what is represented by J? So J is your abiotic factor. A means don't have lah, non. So abiotic means non-living. Okay, give an example of J. So J is going to be your water, soil, stone, air. I just need one lah. I'm giving you more choices here, so you know what are they. All right, so next, moving on. the diagram below shows a pond community. Again, you have a pond community here. So now this time they label it for you already. The BM part, please kindly ignore. Okay, that's not your concern. Okay, because this is taken from an SMK book. But the question is the same. So G, predict what will happen to the balance of the ecosystem in the pond if large amount of fish is added at the same time. So if I just suddenly add fish, okay, what's going to happen? By the way, the hydrilla will be eaten by the tadpole, and then the tadpole will be eaten by the fish, I guess. Okay, so the dragonfly, what is dragonfly going to eat? I think dragonfly is going to eat the tadpole too. I think that. So if you add fish suddenly to this pond, what is it going to happen? So number one, hydrilla decreases. This thing will decrease because there's more fish eating it. Okay, so you explain that. So more fishes feed on it. So they will need to eat, and so they eat more of this. So this thing will decrease. Hey, wait. Fish doesn't eat. Oh, I think I got it confused. Sorry. It should be the tadpole, not the hydrilla. Sorry. Not the tadpole. Not the hydrilla. Because hydrilla is the plant. Sorry, I saw it wrongly here. Okay, should be tadpole eating the hydrilla. I got confused by my own arrows here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so the tadpole, not the hydrilla. So there are more fish feeding on the tadpole, so the tadpole will decrease. So what else? Now when your tadpole decrease, your frog will decrease too, your dragonfly will decrease too. Okay, so your dragonfly decrease. Okay, why? Because less tadpole to feed on. Of course, there's a lot of fish eating all the tadpole, so this fella has nothing to eat. All right, so question like this is kind of typical in exam. They will ask you what happened to this food chain if you do a certain thing to it. This is just basically logical assumption. Okay, who's going to increase? Who's going to decrease? Who's going to lose food? Who's not going to lose food? But basically, let me tell you, when you affect one fella in the food chain, you are going to affect everyone. This is why we are very concerned about disturbing a certain food chain, because when you disturb one, everyone is going to get disturbed. So that's not a good thing. All right, so 11, this is a very sort of like a K-BUT question. How many questions do we have? Okay, so let's continue. So read the passage below and answer the following question. Malaysia is a rich and fertile land because of its favorable weather condition, because we rain all the time, that promote the growth of various flora and fauna. Malaysia has about 20% of the world's total animal species. Wow, that's impressive. For such a small country, we have like 20% of flora and fauna already. So out of the 4,600 species of mammals, 280 of them are found in Malaysia. However, some of the species are endangered and almost extinct. Okay, as you know, many species in Malaysia, they are being threatened by extinction. For example, like I said, your Malayan tiger, your tape, your sun bear, all these are getting extinct. Malayan tiger especially. Okay, like I said, there's only less than 200 in the wild right now. They can go extinct anytime this 5 years. Okay, so in your opinion, what is the factor that makes Malaysia one of the mega biodiversity countries? So I told you what is mega diversity, right? I told you what is this, right? That means Malaysia has a lot of species. Okay. In fact, there are only like 17 to 19 countries that are mega biodiverse. Malaysia is one of it. Okay, awesome. So what makes us a mega diverse country? Because we have warm and humid climate. Okay, that means our weather is very warm, very wet, suitable for growth. I mean, we might not like it lah. I mean, you hate it. I don't know about you, I hate Malaysia weather because it's so hot and it rains all the time. It makes things so humid and uncomfortable. But for plants, it's a very good thing. That's why plants, they grow here year long. This is like a perfect climate to them. So number 2, what does biodiversity mean? Okay, it is the various types of species. It is the various types of species or the different types of species. Because of these many different types, we call it biodiversity. Very diverse. Like I said, we have many races here in Malaysia. So we are a cultural or racially diverse country. Okay, so B1, state one species of animal that is threatened with extinction. Okay, so like I told you, you have your Malayan tiger, okay, your tape, sun bear. All these are getting extinct. You can even say rhino. Okay, I think one of the species of rhino got extinct, right? I don't know which country was it from again. All right, so number 2, in your opinion, what are the main causes of extinction of the animals mentioned in B1? So what causes them to go extinct? Okay, the main reason is the loss of habitat. They lost a space to live, so they have nowhere to go. Usually they will die. Okay, so they lose habitat, or you can say loss of food source. Right? If we keep cutting down their trees, if we keep hunting the things they eat, so they're going to lose food source. So when they have no food, they cannot reproduce. Okay, you can even say illegal poaching. Okay, illegal poaching. That means hunting tigers without permission. Okay, that's illegal poaching. So number 3, give 2 human activities relating to the cause of extinction state in B1. So what causes these all to happen? Of course, how do you cause loss of habitat? Okay, deforestation. When you cut down so many trees, what do you expect? All right, what else? Again, law enforcement. These answers will never go wrong. Okay, very safe answers. All right, next, number 12. So these are 2 birds here. As you can see, the 2 eyes are at the front. So P is called, oh wait, they want you just to state the eye of the location of the eye. So P is both facing front. And then for Q, you have at the side of head. Okay, or you can say at the front of the head, at the side of the head. I told you this, right? This is the blue macaw. This thing is already extinct. This bird is already extinct. You know the bird in Rio? I told you this before. This thing is already extinct. All right, so number 2, based on the observation, state the type of vision each bird has. So P has stereoscopic vision. And then Q has monocular. That means single sight. All right, so compare the visual field of both birds. So you can say P is narrow, accurate. Q is wide, but inaccurate. Okay, like I said, if your eyes are both at the side, you can only see each side with one eye, so it's not accurate. You need to see something with 2 eyes, only you can judge the distance. So Q is not really good in judging distance, but they don't need to. They just need to see where's the predator, and then they will run. They will fly away. So this mono is to help you survive. Is to help you run away from a predator. Okay, so next, this is a deer. Explain how a deer's vision can avoid itself from pouncing by its predator. Okay, so a deer has monocular vision. Okay, so able to detect predator from far. So from far, they will know where the predator is already. They will start running. You try and shoot a deer in the wild and see. Without using a gun, just using your bow and arrow, you try and shoot this thing, you're not going to. Because the moment they hear any rustle near their place, they will just run away. They're very good at it. Okay, so next, lion is strong and a fast predator. It can pounce on its prey at the right timing. In your opinion, how does a lion's vision allow itself to pounce accurately? Because a lion has stereoscopic vision. Okay, so they use it to determine the position of prey using both eyes. So by using both eyes, they know where the exact location the prey is. So the disadvantage, it is narrow. They cannot see very wide. But like I said, they don't need to. They just need to turn their head. Okay, they don't need to. So draw this animal with the type of vision. Okay, it's going to be your mono. So they're at the side. So they are still overlapping here. They are still overlapping here. It's just that it's not much. So it doesn't really matter much. Okay, so you know what? I know we have like 8 minutes, but this pollution, I don't think I can go into this because we haven't, the time is not a lot. We have like 6 minutes left. So there's no need for me to go into this lah. All right, so I shall continue with this next week. Okay, guys, thanks for today. Okay, I know. So, sorry. What am I saying? I know I sound a bit tired today because I really am. I've been awake since 9 without any nap, without any stop. So I'm feeling a bit tired today. Okay, anyway, so next week we shall continue with pollution, which is this part, and we shall finish this chapter. And after finishing this chapter, we shall continue with our year 9 syllabus again lah. Okay, we are taking just a small side track to do some revision for year 7. All right, so I hope it helps. Okay, I hope this revision helps. I will see you again next week lah. All right, so good night to you all. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. I will see you next week. Okay, so good night. See you. Take care. Bye-bye.